very good evening to you. I'm Imogen. It is, of course, that time of year when a rural spot in Gloucestershire becomes the centre of British eccentricity. For 6 centuries, competitors have ignored safety guidance and common sense to chase a giant cheese down a very steep hill. And on the hottest bank holiday on record, those crazy enough to take part were joined by international press and social media. Here's Jules Heim with more from the day's action.
It begins with a blessing. The somewhat sweaty cheese accorded the solemn and serious reverence it deserves. And then there's the hill. Coopers, English and ancient, it too requires respect. If you want to know just how steep it is, well, this is the safety gear that we made our reporter Georgia wear. This will give you an idea too. It's steeper than 1 in 4.
Oh, look at that! I've done a lot of extreme sports stuff, mountaineering, climbing, bungee jumps, loads of things. That, hands down, was the scariest thing I've ever done. Definitely, it is bad.
Were there any concerns about how the cheese might perform in this weather?
Well, it's kept in the fridge, isn't it? It wasn't taken out of the fridge until this morning. It's wrapped with cardboard and tape, so there's no way of it melting or falling apart. It stays whole.
Today's soaring temperatures were nothing compared to just how hot the competition was. Coming out of retirement, a cheese rolling legend, Brockworth local Chris Anderson. It seems that he's the only man who could stop German YouTuber Tom Kopke from making it 3 in a row.
If you want to call yourself a great cheese roller, you eventually have to beat the greatest cheese roller in existence. A lot of people will have high expectations for me winning a 3rd time, so I don't know if I can fulfill that, because I think there's a fair bit of luck involved.
Not just luck, clearly some skill as well.
He's gone head over heels for a double Gloucester. Tom Kopke has won it for Germany. 1, 2, 3 for Kopke.
You've conquered that hill 3 times now. That's got to be one of your quickest. You were so ready for that this year.
I saw Chris in front of me. I was like, I'm gonna get his ass.
A clash of the very biggest of cheeses, all for the sake of a double Gloucester and the honour of niche but global fame. Jules Hyatt, BBC, Points West.
Well, you can catch all the antics from Cooper's Hill on the BBC iPlayer. Now to some other news, and a private ambulance firm in the West says normal service can resume after a rescue deal. Bristol Ambulance faced collapse over an alleged unpaid tax bill, but has now been bought by eMed Group, which is another private firm that the NHS has contracts with. Around 315 jobs have been secured, with 120 ambulances set to remain in service around the region. A new cinema in Bristol has been wired up with smart technology to measure how people react to films. The sensors are attached to the viewers and measure things like heart rate, brain activity and emotional responses. The data will allow filmmakers to understand more about what audiences enjoy on the big screen. So, we've seen people hurtling down a hill at the cheese rolling, but there have been some other equally quirky events in parts of the West today. Alistair McKee can tell us more.
As bank holiday antics go, it might not be the most dangerous, but it was arguably the hottest. History has it that in the 17th century, passing sheep drovers would race up Gumstool Hill carrying 60-pound bags of wool to impress the local maidens.
The atmosphere, and it's just so iconically just Tetbury. You think of Tetbury, you think Woolsack. I don't know if they're mad or just brave.
Seems like a crazy idea, especially on a day like today.
I think it's better than doing a cheese rolling.
With the mercury touching 30 degrees, numbers watching were inevitably down, but the spectacle was as hot as ever.
Well, we come every year, haven't we? Yeah. Usually every year, and we just love it. It's just a great event. It's just a great tradition. It's the same as the cheese roll, really, but but not so mad.
Bristol Bears rugby player Charlotte Woodman not only won her race, but smashed the women's record. So, how was it for the competitors?
That looked
Absolutely awful. How was it?
Oh, not doing it again.
I've only done it once, so once was enough for me. Well done. Well done.
Tetbury's once important wool trade might be largely forgotten, but the traditions it created are very much alive. Alistair McKee, BBC Points West in Gloucestershire.
That looks like seriously hard work, especially in this heat. And talking of heat, let's see whether this hot spell is set to stay with us. Here's Ian with our forecast.
Hello, very good evening to you. Well, after a record-breakingly hot May day, we're now into a very warm evening. That's going to lead us through into tonight with effectively clear skies, or certainly plentifully so clear skies, and it will be noticeably warm. Those temperatures will not drop much below the mid-teens, so quite an uncomfortable night for sleeping, it has to be noted. That gives us a head start for tomorrow, because tomorrow, barring a bit of cloud, will otherwise be a day with, again, very strong sunshine, very high pollen as well. A key difference tomorrow will be a tendency later in the afternoon for some showers to start to break out that you can see here, more particularly perhaps M4 up in parts of Gloucestershire. Most of you will avoid those, and if anything, temperatures tomorrow not only matching those of today, they could actually be a little bit higher, as you can see from these values here. Bye-bye.
Wow, well, that's all from the Points West team on this hot bank holiday Monday. I hope you've had a good one. The team are back in Breakfast News tomorrow morning. Thanks for your company, and stay cool tonight if you can. Good night.